Well, hello there. Master Hellish here, and welcome to the Variety Channel. Hello and welcome everybody, welcome. Hi, how are we all doing? I hope we're all doing good. Now, I'm not quite sure how many people are here, or exactly how well this temporary setup is going to work, but I think we should be okay, because I'm getting better at these sorts of things now, aren't I? Just waiting for the delay to catch up with chat, but I'm pretty sure we are live on the Variety Channel right now with a completely different setup to normal. Let's have a look. What does YouTube tell me? YouTube tells me the stream is healthy. Analytics is showing 0 view. Am I on the right? Which channel am I on? I'm on the Variety Channel. Good. I think the analytics might just be a little slow to catch up. Yes. These lines are ideal for me because they show. Oh, hang on a minute. What's going on? Have we got massive lag on? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong preview. There we go. I'm not looking at the live preview. Don't worry. Once we get things on here, it won't be so bad. Okay. So welcome everyone. 8 watching. Yeah. Don't worry about the number of people watching. So usually, folks, you are over in that corner of my office. So let's just hide Cam 2 for a second. We don't need that. There we go. Right, so over here you can see one of my studio lights. There's a monitor. The main monitor is there. You guys are normally up there looking this way across the room, and now from one corner across, and now you're in this corner looking that way. So you can see my door over there. It's open, and there's the color wall and all that sort of thing. So I've got the laptop in the corner of the room. We've got Cam 2 set here. Can you see Cam 2 just in front of me there? And I've got my 2 desk lamps with plenty of lightiness. This is how I set up and do like repair jobs and any sort of relatively small or intricate work. This is where I do it. Let me just get my seat. Oh, there we go. Right, that's better. It is a little bit warm in the office. We're up to 30 degrees today already. You can see that the cave has a door. Can't you see the door normally? Surely you can see the edge of the door normally. I don't know. You believe you. Right. Okay. So I have a 3D printed tray for putting bits in. I have a precision screwdriver set, which may or may not have the right bits in. I have a standard screwdriver. I've got a ruler because my digital calipers broke. I've got a knife and some new blades for the knife because I'm pretty sure it needs them. I've got a screwdriver, and it would be really nice if my LTT screwdriver had arrived by now, but it hasn't. It's not here yet, so there we go. Yeah. So we should start a poll to see whether we get Season 12 tomorrow. Yeah, I know. Up to 37 degrees? I don't know what country that's in. Yes. Will there be a scene where the mat is enlarged compared to your face? Yes, Kevin. Yes. So we're gonna. I've got 2 scenes. We've got this scene and this scene, right? Actually, come to think of it, there's a lot of wasted space on there, so we can do this. Okay. So we've got mat scene and we've got face scene. We started with face scene. Just realised the OpenTTD music. Yeah, that's there for 2 reasons, okay? Firstly, it's nice to have a bit of background music, even if it's really quiet. And secondly, my headphones go to sleep if nothing's coming into them. So if there's no sounds and no music going on, like there is in this sort of stream, the microphone will just cut out because the headphones go to sleep. I think maybe there should be something in the headphone that listens for a lot of microphone activity and stops it from going to sleep. Anyway, here we go, folks. We're gonna get. I think if any, should we do a bit of story? There it is. There it is. There is my graphics card. I have just ripped it out of my computer right before we started this stream. It's still slightly warm. Yes, still slightly warm. There we are. And what can I say about it? It's old. It's relatively old. Not massively old. The thing is, though, because this is the super juiced up version, right? Can I get Cam 2 to do that? There we go. Because this is the super juiced up version, even getting a more modern or newer GPU won't always match the specs on this thing, especially when it comes to the RAM, to the memory. Yeah. I am not really sure what to do about this. We can almost certainly, I can see screws behind the fans. That will take presumably the fans and the plastic shroud off the front here. I can see cables sticking out all over. Let's have a look at the other side. So there are a number of screws here, and to be honest, I don't know which ones are holding the back plate and bits onto the card or not. Good luck with the repairs, yes. So if you know things for a fact in this stream, feel free to say it. If you're guessing, then make sure you let everybody know that you don't necessarily know what you're saying. How do you know it's the thermal paste that's the issue in the first place? I don't know for sure, right? But I am relatively confident because hotspot temperatures are going above their normal safe limits. And the common cause of that is the thermal paste, right? We don't know for sure that it is the graphics card that is causing the computer to cut out. But when you get hotspot temperatures of 114, 115 degrees, maybe that's an indication that something's not right, right? So before the live stream, earlier this morning, I did some benchmarking. I ran Furmark, I ran something else, and I did some PUBG. And I recorded a load of stats. So I'll do the same afterwards, and we'll see what happens. Yeah. Yes. A screwdriver, yes, backseat screwdriver. Seems like we've got really big lag on the live stream. I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to try and remove this section here, because I can see some screws in there. They look like just standard cross screws, but I'm not sure. Let's see what we've got in the precision kit, shall we? There we go. Right, so this is a really cheap precision kit. I did actually get the precision kit from LTT, so that would probably have been really helpful about now. And none of these seem to be the ones that oh, maybe that one actually. No, that's got a little nubbin on it. I have no idea. What I might do is I might give that a little try. So let's get the neck extension on there. This would be great. I've set up the entire live stream. I've taken the graphics card out, and then I just don't have the screws to do anything with it. You should start with the back panel? Really? That's surprising that somebody would say that. Because in pretty much every tutorial I've seen, they've started by removing the fans. I did look at a few tutorials. And they removed the fans, then went to the back panel. But let's see if this even fits. No, of course that doesn't fit. What about that? That one fits. Okay. Well, I have looked at some tutorials, but unfortunately for me, most of those tutorials were also people that didn't know what they were doing. So, here we are, chat. Fan screw. No, let's rotate this, and we're going to start up here and work our way across. Fans first spot, and then work our way through. Yeah. Me without knowing knowledge, I would open the base, the back base of the intrusion. Yeah. I'm going to try and take these screws off here and see what happens. It might be that this is not necessarily the easiest or best way to start, but a number of videos that I've seen did start on this side. So I'm going to give it a go. The weird thing is, can I see another screw hole? Yeah. The weird thing is that there weren't many videos out there for teardowns of this card, especially people that seemed to know exactly what they were doing. So this screw is not coming out. So I mean, it's turning. Oh no, wait! It just lifted then. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's put this set back over here. And I'll bring this a little closer to myself so I can see what I'm doing. Yeah. Do you have the little stickers or post-its to make a piece of paper note? You know what? I don't think I actually have any post-its. Oops. There we go. I don't know how well you can hear, like, if I'm doing, like, can you hear me screwing? Probably not over the music, right? Now, one of the things that I know is that at least at one point, there is a cable that you have to be very careful with when you separate two parts. I don't think. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'm pretty sure these screws just release the fan from the fan guard. Maybe I shouldn't have started with these. You know what? I'm going to pop one screw back in each one, and then we'll start. Where's the screw hole? That one hasn't got a screw hole. There we go. I'm actually going to start on the other side. You got to remember that, like, even though there's different models of the same card as well, right? Yeah, usually ribbon cables. Yeah. Right. I have put two screws back in. They're going to at least hold them in place while we switch this over. This is the back plate, right? I don't know. Oh, I've got isopropyl alcohol thing, but I haven't got it over here with me. Looking at this, I'm not sure which of these screws would need to come. I mean, almost certainly these ones, because that's what's holding the heatsink to the GPU core. It might be just all of these screws need to come out as well, because these ones are not normal screws. I think I might have to use my standard screwdriver because I don't have a precision bit that match. Oh god, what's that one like? Yeah, that one's the right one. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, tweezers. Yeah, I have some tweezers. Let's get them handy as well. So these are the two tweezers I have handy. I do have more tweezers if necessary. The outer screws are for holding the back plate. Well, we want the back plate off, right? We want to take the entire back plate off. And release it from the heatsink too. Actually, can I get the screwdriver in that hole? Yes. Yeah. They're all Phillips, yeah. So I think my plan is just to remove the lot of them, all of them, and see how we go. The thing is that, like I said, I don't necessarily trust the tutorials I've seen out there because there seems to be a very big difference. Hang on a minute, these screws are a different colour to those screws, I think. So I'm going to store them separately. Get yourself a piece of card and draw a layout of the GPU, and then pop each screw into this corresponding slots of the card. Then you can't go wrong. I mean, I think you might be right to be extra careful on that one. Like for the fan screws, I'm quite happy to put them together in the tray together. But for these which one did I just take out? Did I just take out this one? I think which one did I just take out? I'm going to put that there for a second. Yeah, let's get a piece of paper or something. I don't have much paper lying around. Here we go. I went top then bottom, didn't I? So there we go. There's my graphics card. You should be fine. Yeah. I agree that I should be fine. However, I am, if I can be extra cautious, I'm going to be extra cautious. If there's two options, and one of the options takes a little bit more time, I'm taking that more time. Because I need this GPU to work so I can carry on working. Right. Yeah, when you've never done something before, it's good to take a lot of time and care, isn't it? And I'm going to take a lot of time and care on this. Mark the top and bottom of the paper and GPU. I don't need to do that. Well, I have already done that. You see this line here? Yeah? That aligns up with this. So I do already have... Taking pictures? What do you think I'm live streaming for? We can go back and scrub through the live stream. That is like 1 trillion pictures. Isn't it? Did we talk about the replacement pads? So for the GPU die itself, I've got some PTM 7950. I hope this is big enough. It's 60 by 60. I think it will be big enough. And then for the various different thermal pad placements, we've got some thermal Grizzly pads, and I've got a batch of 1mm and a batch of 1.5 because that's what the internet said I needed. And I asked a number of different places and looked in a number of different places, and the places that did have the information said that. It said, I can't remember which way around, which way around it was now. I might have to double check which way round the pads are. Yes, those 4 big ones are the ones that's actually holding the heatsink onto the GPU core. I'm going to try and loosen them gently in turn. And I'm also going to take a pause in a moment to check for ribbon cables. These are coming out so far surprisingly well, considering in theory it's supposed to have been in situation for such a long time. Yes, the live stream. Yeah, chat can just go back and check. That's what you guys are here. Right, I'm here... I'm here to do the job. You're here to make sure I do it right. It is a little bit scary. The thing is, a number of people have been telling me to do this for a while, and I wanted to eliminate all other possibilities first, because doing this, even if you are careful and even if you've got experience, does come with some risks, right? And you know what, some of these screws are different lengths. I am pretty sure some of these screws are different lengths. And what you've got to remember is that this isn't just my gaming PC. This isn't just where I sit down and chill out and game. This is my workhorse. This is where I generate my revenue. This is where I make the money that feeds me and the family. So if I break this, it's higher stakes than just playing. You're here for the laughs? Yeah. Does anyone have a spare GPU, says Gigabyte? I used to, but I lent it to someone. Right, the 4 main screws are coming out now. There we go. Now today, I would have preferred to be recording my next OpenTTD video. But I can't have live streams cutting out due to these all came out way too easy. Now these ones have got springs on, so I'm going to have to be extra careful with them. Yeah. I may have a spare GPU. I can't remember what it is. And I don't know where it is. It's somewhere in my storage wall, for those of you who know me in my storage wall. Right, so those are the main screws off the back there. We're going to keep the fan screws separate. I'm going to just put them here. So in front of me, what you can't see is just above the camera here, there's a windowsill. So I've got my tools and things on the windowsill. Now I'm going to move these screws. Just going to put them over here in the corner for now. And all of a sudden, the screws jump around all over the place. I'm sure many of these don't matter if they switch, or possibly all of them, but let's be extra careful. Right now, like I said, I'm going to take a pause for a moment, just to see if I can see any nearby ribbon cables. Now I see a cable there, but I don't have access to it. Let's have a look this way. Yeah, again, I see a cable there, but I don't have access to it yet. So I'm going to have to be extra careful when I do this. So, let's see what we get here. Is anything moving? There is some movement. Not much movement there at the moment. Well, we'll take it slow. Yeah, chat seems to have graphics cards all over the place. Yeah, this corner is definitely happy to move. So is that corner, actually. Oh, hang on, there's stuff behind me. There's like a bin and things. I don't want to end up wheeling my chair into it. Surely the thermal pads will be stuck on. Could require a hairdryer. I don't know, but I'm just taking my time. Like I said earlier. Oh, there we go. Where's my... Yeah, let's just use the tweezers. Not to apply pressure, but just to catch it when it pops up. There we go. So we've got a little bit of a tweeze on there. So if I do a small bit of flexing, I can see... Oh, sorry, I hit the microphone. I can see the PCB moving away from the heat thing. Yeah, that popped out again. I am pretty sure this is just adhesion due to sticky stuff. Possibly. But I'm still struggling to see where these fans might be connected. So let's have a closer look. I mean, this was warm earlier. Yeah, I'm pretty oh god, is it right in there? I don't know. I can see some of the thermal pads though. They do look quite thin. Those ones don't look as thin. So I've got 1.5mm for the memory chips. Apparently that is the right size. I'm not sure it is. The ones for the memory chips look significantly bigger here. Let's get one out and compare it. I'm going to compare the squished out part to the edge of one of these. Without trying to damage them at all. Oh! Oh no, no, that looks almost identical. It's a little hard to tell without obviously measuring. They look either... They're either identical or... The thing is that the edge is splayed. So, yeah. Okay. I mean, I suppose if I have the wrong ones, worst case we're going to see heating spike. In which case I'm then going to have to try and do it again. Right. Yeah, the heatsink should come away from the back plate now. I'm not seeing anything that would suggest otherwise. Unless... No, that looks like it would come away too. Like I said though, there are cables connected for the fans, so we have to be extra careful. Okay. It does feel like it's... like being pliable. Like, it does feel like this. It feels like it's coming away, right? It feels like that's blue tack, by the way. So if that feels like that, yeah, it is slowly coming. So I'm just going to apply some gentle pressure and keep pulling. The problem is I can't hear it, so there we go. Just going to drop the headphones. It's not making any noise. He uses some force to push it apart, pushing around the edges and the power ports. Yes, the power ports are up there. So you want to separate those. Can you see that there? It is actually separate. Oh god, it went. Luckily I had hold of it and I was being careful. I can now see where the cables go for the disconnection. And you know what? There's actually a relatively good amount of flex, he says, dropping the GPU. I thought that was going to stand up because of the weight of this. It didn't. Right. There's quite a lot of flex on these cables. So I'll get these fan cables out. I don't know if there's a... Yeah, there's no special thing. That's it. We're committed now, folks. We can't just put it back together without adding the new pads and stuff. Oh my goodness, that cable's not coming. Okay. I'm going to use my drink to prop it up. I need to turn the vacuum cleaner off. There we go. Right. Yeah, I've got to get these power... Now, where can I... Yeah, there's not a lot of room or leverage to be able to get that out of there. It doesn't seem to want to go up. I don't think there's like a clip or a clasp. How much flex have I got here? Oh! Oh, I just got my first look at the GPU die. Oh, that's horrible. Okay, we'll have a closer look at that soon. Damn robots. I mean, it's doing what I originally told it to do. See, look, now I've moved these cables apart a little bit. We can, I think we can... There we are. I can actually get my hand in there now. What I can't do is lean in with my headphones on because I keep hitting my head on the lamp. So if I'm careful, I should be able to just... Oh, by the way, folks, I actually left my nails long. My nails normally aren't this long. I left them a little long for this very reason. So, because I knew I was doing this job. And it might have been completely pointless, but... Why are there two lots of fan cables? Is it just because there's 3 fans and one port can only do so much? I am struggling with this. Okay. Nope. Obviously don't want to damage those cables. It does seem to want to move a little bit. Let's just check the other side, make sure there's no clip. Oh, it does look different though, so I want to turn it round. Okay. Let's carefully turn the whole thing round. Let's have a look. What have we got? Those thermal pads are now ruined. Well, it's got some shape to this, but I'm not seeing anything. Yeah, I'm being very careful with these ribbon cables. Maybe overly careful because I'm not actually getting them out. Oh, there's a tiny gap there now at the bottom. Can I get something in that tiny gap? There we go. Gently does it. Okay. Yeah, that's one. The other one is a pain in the backside. Oh, but I might have... I'm not sure about this one. This one's definitely trouble. The ugly sister. Right, let's put the device this way around. That ribbon cable looks long enough for me to stand this up now. Because I've got one of them off, I can do this. There we go. So now... Oh my goodness! Come on, you little... Wow! It does not want to move. Looking at the GPU die, it actually makes me wonder how this graphics card has ever survived. But we'll have a closer look at that sometime in a few minutes. This is a thing of beauty, though, in my opinion. Some people may disagree with me, but electronics of this scale is just absolutely gorgeous. Oh my goodness. Right. Use your nails on both sides. Yeah. I am struggling to get something on the thing is that if I didn't need to worry about damaging the board, I could just grab it and use something as leverage. But we don't want to do that. Oh, this is the first time I've seen something like this up close. It is amazing. It's dirty. I mean, I'm probably being too gentle, but I also don't want to cause any breaks on the board. Like, there is a tiny amount of wobbling going on there, and that's not good. If we boot this back up and some fans don't work, that is very bad. Oh dear. Oh my goodness. How goes it? Well, I've got it into two halves, but we've got one ribbon cable that's been really stubborn, and I don't want to damage anything. Although having said that, right, these power connectors are relatively robust, right? So I might be able to just lean my tweezers on them, get in from each side, and apply, hopefully, a gentle upwards force. Oh my goodness, that is not coming out. Oh no. I don't know if there's some sort of issue or something, but yeah, it's even moving the port slightly. The weird thing is that the plug is, oh my goodness, I think it might come out with some micro movements. But I don't want to keep wiggling the port, because I don't want to damage the connection to the port. I can't see any locking pins on them at all. It just looks snug. Oh, hang on a minute. Where's the other cable? Okay. Maybe, actually. The problem is that I don't know how I can apply pressure to that at the same time as pulling it. This is where you need a friend. Do you need to unplug it? No, but it you know what? I did need to unplug one of them. I don't think I need to unplug two. So, I'm going to leave that. You know what? You're right, everybody. We'll leave that. So, here we go, everyone. The graphics card, for better or for worse, is now in two parts. And I'm going to remove Cam 2 from its podium. There we go. And we're going to have a really close look at this. Here we go. Can we focus on that? Is that too close? Look at that. I think we might be a little close. Can I... We'll do an artificial zoom. Oh no, a standard zoom. Let's do a transform, reset transform. There we go. Yeah. So there's all the thermal pads and stuff that are all broken on the memory and so forth. But look at this. Let me see if I can get a really good look at it. There we go. Now, I'm no expert, but that looks like there are spots on the die that just didn't have a good coverage. It looks crispy. It does look very crispy. Here's the spot on the other side. Yeah, you think it's been done poorly? Yeah, well, I'm not an expert, so I wouldn't know. Hang on a second. I'm trying to get a 4K camera to fit on a 1440p thingy. There we go. Is that upside down now? It is. It's upside down. There we go. We're back to normal. Good. So now is the cleanup operation. What have I got? Well, I have some of this. I have some of these if I need them. But I have one of these that I can just throw away because it's spare, it's extra. Which seems like a good idea. So, I guess trying to remove the thermal pads will be the first step. Can I remove the thermal pads without needing the alcohol? Let's have a look. Well, they do just seem to break apart into nothing. It's a bit early for the alcohol. Yes. I mean, obviously, I don't want to scratch this copper surface. Wow! These bits aren't copper. Just noticed. Or don't appear to be anyway. I need a spudger. I shouldn't use metal on this. I should only use plastic. Hang on. I'm going to the other side of my... Oh, you know what? I've forgotten that you guys can hear me on the other side of the room because I'm not used to having a wireless headset. Let me see if I can find some plastic spudgers. It seems I have one that's in any... No, wait, maybe two that's in any decent condition. Yes, there we go, look. Spudgery. So I should be able to just lift these off. Right, so at the moment, I'm working on the assumption that I've not damaged anything. Which may not be true. Oh, these thermal pads are so crumbly. They do seem like they might be thicker than what I have. Oh no, right, we need to double check the thermal pad thickness. I could have sworn I got the right ones. I mean, if I haven't, it's going to be a next day delivery from overclockers and a day without the main computer. I might put a cheap graphics card in just to keep it going. I'm sure I must have something. Right. You've missed a few things. I'm taking my time. Like I said to chat earlier on, I'm not going to rush this. If I can do something the right way, or the right way and slowly, I'm going to do it the right way and slowly. Because what I do not want to do is accidentally do it the wrong way. Double stack the pads if not tall enough. I don't have any information on whether double stacking pads is an acceptable thing to do. I would have to do some research. Where did that bit go? I think I just dropped a bit somewhere around here. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. But here we go. Cleanup operation. Presumably though, if one of the pads isn't contacting properly, the memory module will get hot and we'll see it in the statistics. Yeah, that's a good point, Kurt. As long as they're not so tall, you don't get good pressure on the die. Yeah, that's probably something. There we go. Didn't see anything drop. Okay. I felt like something dropped. Okay. So there's the memory, the pads for the memory off. It's so nice that they put like little signs about exactly where they should be for the memory. They don't do that for... Are these the VRMs? Or what are these other things called? I can't remember now. Although, it does appear just to be put pad all the way across. That's got... see, this one's got pad. That's got pad there. So there's 4 strips of pad. So as long as I make sure that these 4 sections here are covered in pad, I'll be alright. That one is definitely thinner though. And it's also definitely manky. There we go. Although these ones are in better condition. Does this void the warranty? I'm pretty sure it would void the warranty if it was still under warranty. I've had this card for quite some time. I can't remember how long it's been now, but I've got a funny feeling it's been 5 years. There we go. Let's just make sure that bit's off there. So I guess there's no harm in using... Let's get the pads off the board. Hopefully some of these are just going to come off mega easy. Whoops. Nope. What's a warranty again? Yeah. Does feel like that sometimes. Oh, I'm sorry. You accidentally bought it on a Thursday. Our warranties don't cover Thursdays. Or whatever the excuse is. Logitech are terrible, in my opinion, for their customer service for when things are out of warranty. It's basically, oh, you're out of warranty? Tough, bye. And I was like, hang on a minute, aren't you even going to try and sell me replacement parts? You could make money. And they're like, no, bye. And my headset, my Logitech headset, was only, I think, like maybe 2 weeks out of the warranty. Computer says no, exactly. I am not applying hardly any pressure here. And luckily, these are coming off the chips. Chips. A friend of mine's going out to lunch today. I wish I was. Instead, I'm sat in the corner of an office talking to myself. That's some sort of weirdo. Oh dear. Right. Now something that I can't remember is whether we have to try and apply the thermal pads to the heatsink or to the chips. Yeah, I've stopped buying. Well, with one exception, I've stopped buying Logitech products now. The one exception is there was a particular mouse that I wanted to replace, and I wanted to replace it like for like because I was so ridiculously used to how it worked. At the time didn't want to try and go for a new one. Yeah. Well, everything's gone that way. Yeah, I suppose. I don't think you'll find any corporate greed around here. Not on the Master Hellish channel. We're not a corporation. Actually, maybe you'll find in-game corporate greed. That's probably highly likely, actually. In fact, it'd be quite difficult maybe to find a video that doesn't have in-game corporate greed. Oh dear. The thing is, though, is that when it comes to sales and the market and businesses, it seems that the middle-sized business is dying out. It seems to be either the big massive corporations, the huge ones, the ones that own 7 different brand names and watermarks and trading companies and all this sort of thing, or the individuals, the little guy. The little guy over the last, I mean, I'm not sure, but like maybe the COVID pandemic kicked it up a little notch, but it does seem like some people are buying from independents a lot more these days. Things like Etsy and things like that, right? But then again, like Etsy's the big corporate. But you know, that's just an example of one way. Right, we've got all the pads off. Now, what about the goop that's on the card? How goopy is it? No, I didn't mean card, sorry, I meant the heatsink. That is pretty non-goopy. That's an affirmative on the negative goopiness there. Try not to scratch it. I think I did put a tiny scratch on the copper there. Oh no! Never mind. There's not much I can do about that now. Let's brush it off this way. Yeah, there seems to be a lot of excuses in the corporate world to just pump up the price and say, oh no, it's for quality and things, and quality's not getting better, is it? I think everybody knows that, or a lot of people do anyway. Right, I'm trying to get into these buds because I think they'd be good for cleaning the heatsink. Right, let's get our cleaner. What shall I use to put the cleaner in? I don't want to use the cap. I was going to use the cap, but then I changed my mind. Jack and Mac, why are you posting on TikTok while I'm... Oh, by the way, I messaged TikTok about my account, and they said, oh, we're experiencing highly unusual volumes at the moment, which is code for we don't employ enough support staff. This little lid will do. I'm just going to squirt into the little lid, and then I'll do a bit of dibbing and dabbing. Don't worry about scratches. The thermal paste will fill them. I am worried about it. I want it to be as perfect as possible, right? I'm trying to do this right. I'm trying to do something that has an element of risk that I've never done before. And I want to do it as well as I can. So that's what I'm doing. The thermal pads are coming off quite nicely. Obviously the paste is a nightmare. I haven't actually got thermal paste to put back on. I'm using, for those of you who weren't here earlier on, I'm going to be using some PTM 7950. It's a thermal phase change pad. So it's kind of solid at normal temperatures, but when it heats up, it turns into a liquid. And from the research I've done, it seems that you don't get quite as amazing temperatures as what you would as if you bought the best thermal paste. But what you do get is longevity. It apparently runs brilliantly for long periods of time, many years. And I don't want to have to do this again. I'd rather never have to do this again. Now, one of the things that I did get from one of the tutorials was somebody said, when you think you've got it clean it again, because you haven't. So that's starting to look quite clean. But let's just put a clean one over it. Yeah, mucky. So, yes. There is a lot of corporate greed, and as little individuals, there's not much you can do about it. What you can do, though, is if you've got any spare disposable income, if you've got some disposable income, you can support the little guys, like me. What's the specs of the GPU, please? Can somebody grab them off my website? If you go to masterhellish.net and to the About page, the exact GPU model is on there, along with the rest of the specs of the computer. Yeah, it's 6800, but it's the XT, isn't it? By the way, this laptop that I'm using now has the mobile version of exactly the same GPU in it. It's one of the reasons why I bought it. I don't know why. It doesn't seem like a good reason. So, what are we thinking, folks? Do we put the pads on here and then connect it? Or do we put the pads... No, we put the pads on here. Because this has got the markers of exactly where it needs to be, and you can line it up better. I am just cleaning this, and it's just still getting this dirty every time. What's the difference? What, between the 6800 XT and the non-XT? I don't know. There is a difference. And there's also a difference between the XT mobile and non-mobile as well. And some of you might be like, why is he cleaning and cleaning and cleaning and cleaning and cleaning and cleaning? Surely it must be clean by now. The answer to that is no. Yes, so unfortunately I don't have the answer to the exact difference between the XT versions and the non-XT versions and the various different bits and bobs. My goodness. I think at some point I'm just going to have to give up, right? It's going to be dirty forever. I'm just spreading dirt around. Hopefully this time will be the only time you have to dismantle it. Take your time cleaning. Yes, that's what I'm hoping. Now, we have to clean the pads and things as well. Oh, sorry, the chips. So I will just give each one just a small clean. I'm wondering if it might be worth going in with some air to dry it, just blow it up. Oh, one thing to note though, look how dirty this is in here. In that it's not, right? It's not dirty in here at all. It's the graphics card itself is rather clean. It's not perfect by any means, but for a graphics card that's been running for the last possibly 5 years, I don't remember. Oh, where did that bit of thermal pad go? There we are. Went between those two capacitors. It's an interesting thing to know enough about electronics and so forth to be able to marvel at this, but not enough to like really understand it. Not properly. There we go. We get in there. Use a cloth. What, for these bits? I do have a cloth, but I would rather take my time and do it too slow than accidentally catch a cloth on something and rip it off the board or anything ridiculous like that. So these aren't actually dirty, they've just got pad residue on them. So I'm just removing the pad residue. These ones have got next to no pad residue, so it does make me wonder whether the pads were in proper contact. Oh, for the copper area? Yeah, I probably will put a cloth on that as well at some point. There we go. Right. Let's get the bits of pads off the memory. Imagine if I was doing this and the memory chip just came off the board. I'd be like, oh my goodness. Yeah, these ones are a bit more sticky and break-up-y. Reminds you of fixing your PS5 controller? Oh, soldering! Oh, I'm not great at soldering. I soldered that wall behind me with all the with the LEDs on it. That just about went okay. Now, what's going on here? It looks like we've just got a lot of rubbish on the top that needs to be gently removed. Look at that. Can you see that? You can see that. That was another thing as well. Like, a couple of the videos I looked at, the video quality was horrendous. I don't know what the video quality is like for you guys, but we have two pretty good cameras working at this rig right now. And some pretty good lighting. So hopefully it's okay. I need to remember to keep drinking as well, because it is really warm today. Okay. Now we're certainly getting there. Look, I'm looking forward to applying the pads. That feels like it'd be a very that thing where satisfying. It feels like it'd be a very satisfying thing to do. Yeah, I'm going to get the blower on this in a minute. I might have to mute my microphone so that it's not too loud. Or maybe we just warn you all. Those of you who are watching on like a second screen is like, ah, quick, no, I need to find some controls. The thermal pad is obviously coming off easier than the paste did. And I haven't done the paste on the actual die yet, so I'll have to see how that goes. There we go. I disappeared into my own little world for a second then. I'm finding this rather therapeutic now. Schreiber Fox? I have no idea. I'm just going to have some water. And I'm just going to make sure I don't get it on the GPU. Oh my goodness. Right. Quick check of my messages. This is a lot. I thought this stream might be a while. Right. Where am I? I am here at my desk. Let's do a little bit cleaning up here. Yeah, these sides aren't too bad. All right, I'm gonna start down here now. There is so little thermal paste on the die that I am just going to use cotton buds. I've seen people wipe it off with like a tissue and things. But I'm just going to use these buds. I'm not pressing. I'm just lightly rubbing. Hopefully we can get most of it off pretty easily, but it is been... Some of it is actually still got its elasticity, and some of it definitely hasn't. Oh. I need some more of my juice. Some more of the alcohol. That's not my juice, it's juice for the graphics card. There we go. Somebody said to me, while you're at it, why don't you go and do your CPU as well? I was like, well, CPUs are much easier to reapply thermal paste. I could probably just do that anytime. It's not important. Also, I don't have a problem with temperatures on my CPU. So that's fine. So if you was watching a video, this is the bit now where a lot of it would probably be cut out, because they're taking their time to get the bits off and clean it up. How are we doing? We're doing alright. It's a bit warm. I need to swap. Get a new one. I've also just noticed there's some discoloration on the metal around the die. There we go. That side's clean. Try and get this side clean without doing any damage. Yeah. It's coming. There we go. I'm actually enjoying the OpenTTD background music. Right, while I'm watching you on my TV, I'm going to apply for some more jobs. You was overqualified for the job is what they said? I think what they were meant was is they was afraid that you were just going to leave when you found something better. That's probably what they meant. I don't know why somebody would not hire somebody for being overqualified. But then again, I've never been a hiring manager before. In fact, I've never been a manager before. It's not something I've done. Okay, I've managed to get a bit of the thermal paste in a bit that's going to be tricky to get out. Now, I don't really want to go in there with my little spudger, even though it's relatively soft plastic. I've been so delicate around here. I have no idea how delicate I mean, obviously the die surface itself is going to be quite delicate, but I have no idea how delicate the actual area around that is. Presumably, quite. It doesn't all need to be perfectly clean, right? Because it's the die surface itself that matters. And I think I've pretty much got that clean now. Interesting. Some interesting patterns on this. What's just happened? We could use a temperature cave monitor. I mean, it's just 30 degrees. It was about 28 when I did my thermal tests earlier. So there was a little bit of a difference between now and then. Right, this feels like there's still more residue on here for me to sort out. It's nearly time to start cutting pads, I think. Not quite sure how I'm going to do that. Right, let's use the microfiber now. Oh, actually, I want to blow all the stuff away. Do I have a button to mute my mic? No. There we are. I can mute my microphone while I'm doing the blowing. Yeah. Well, a PS5 controller is a little bit different to something like this, isn't it? You think it's going to be 32 degrees in the office? Might be. Right, here we go. So I've got my blowing device. And I'm just going to try and blow away any debris. There we go. It blew away some of my tools as well. That needs charging now, but I think it did the job. Right. Yeah, there's something on the surface of the die that I'm not able to remove. It's almost like the surface of the die has been scratched when they were putting the thermal compound on. Let me see if I can take a photo. It seems that my phone only wants to focus on the reflection of the die. Can you see the camera? No, you can't. Okay, so we just need to give the memory modules a little bit more of a clean up, and then I think we're done for cleaning. Like I said earlier, this is not going to be a process I am going to rush. I'm going to take my time and hopefully not screw it up. because failure is one of the possible outcomes. And I don't want that. Right, just a little rub on these. Because I didn't give them a good clean, I only just flicked off the surface before. There we go. Not picking up much off there, which is good. Just a tiny bit. Right. I think we're ready. I think we're ready for pads. So, this pad here is the Thermal Grizzly Advance. And these are the thicker pads. So these ones are going to go on the memory module bits. And I don't know if I need to worry about them being too wide. Probably not, right? I'll let them overhang. I think being slightly too big is completely fine. Maybe scissors will do the job here. I did get my knife. No, I'm going to knife it because I've got my new blades. Well, not new blades. I've still got a pack of blades. And if I change the blades in my knife, then it's going to be better, isn't it? Ugh. Right. Ooh, the camera's getting hot. Camera's getting toasty. From what I understand, the cameras don't actually send a raw feed back to the machine. They do some compressing and encoding and stuff, which is how they're able to deliver a 4K image down a USB 2 cable. As long as they don't in contact with anything nearby, I think the memory modules are fine. The other ones might need adjusting, or almost certainly will need adjusting to make sure that they fit in the right place. Right, we've got a brand new blade in the knife. Don't demonetize me, YouTube, for saying knife. Although, having said that, this channel is not actually what's it monetized, is it? It's not monetized. It's part of the partner program, but it's not monetized. Right, so I'm going to use my little ruler, my little baby ruler here, to measure how much I need, and then I'm going to cut it. So this space here is almost exactly 48 millimeters. So I'm going to cut a 50 millimeter strip. Which I can use the guides on my board to do. Nearly just sliced my finger. Don't 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So it's going to be there. Trying not to apply any pressure to the pad at all. Don't want to accidentally pre-squish it. I think the heat's not helping. I think there's some thermal squishing going on in terms of heat. Right, how we're looking. Is that disconnected? Yeah, the thermal pad's disconnected, but it's still on the back plate, so can I get that off there? There we go. Right, sorry, I just hit the microphone. Oh, that is a little bit more sticky than I was expecting once it's on there. I mean, it is on there. Okay. 1. I guess. And then, how big is this one? Is this one the same? Yeah, that one's the same. So, again, 5 centimeters worth, 50 millimeters. Try and keep it as straight as possible. Keep it nice and neat. I think scissors might be better because the knife is pressing, not cutting through the plastic very well. It's cutting through the pad fine. Oh, these pads are a little warm, aren't they? God, this was a terrible day of the year to do it on. Come on, pad. I don't want to deform you. Or get anything else in the wrong place. Ooh. That might actually be brilliant placement. Okay. So I've got 2/3 of the memory pads done, and I've only used a strip. Scissors are better. Yeah, I think scissors might be better as well. Right. Let's have another strip. I got packs of 4. I don't know if I needed any more in any other places, but we'll see. Right, let's measure that. So this one's shorter. This one is... That one's 45. 45 millimeters. So giving like a millimeter or so extra. Well, I tried to make a mark in the pad and I can't see it. Yeah, I can't see the mark in the pad. Right, 46 millimeters. Okay, I did it. Let's see if we can take the backing bit off without too many problems. Doesn't want to go, this one. This one's quite happy to stay stuck to the back. It's way too big. Yeah, I don't think that's good. I think that's way too big. It needs some cutting off the side. But if that's the bit I'm cutting off, I can hold it and not worry about damaging that part. Oh my goodness. Greetings! Greetings! Alright, maybe I'm going to try the other scissors as well, because those ones are a bit rubbish. Right, here we go. This one seems to be thinner and has more things around it on the board, so we are going to trim. Oh, these scissors are, well, so much better. There we go. Still slightly larger than the area, but only just. It seems to be contacting really well. At least on the copper. Okay. I'm not completely happy about that one. Oh dear. Can I get a bit off there while it's in situation? Yeah. Yeah, I managed to get the corner off that. Okay, that's better than what it was. Right. So that's the pads for the memory. Now we have to do all the other bits, which I think are called the VRMs, but I'm not sure. Did you... No, this is the first time I've ever done anything like this. I'm just taking my time. We've already been live for about 1,000,000 years. Been live for nearly an hour and 26 minutes. And we've been slowly going through the process of working out which screws and all that sort of thing. Speaking of which, the screws have moved slightly. There we go. So now, let's go on to the 1mm pads. Weigh the money and get the money back. Weigh the copper and get your money back. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's exactly what I want right now. Whew, jeez. Right, hang on a second. Before I do this one, I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about the sniffy noises, everybody. Hay fever's going crazy. I'll do my best to not sniff so much. Right, we're going to do these ones now. And I think the way that we're going to handle this is we're going to size them up on the board in terms of width. And then we're just going to do maximum length. Because I don't see that being a problem. Yeah, there's great encouragement. You're probably going to mess this up, but don't worry, there's a backup plan if you do. Right, here we go. So, we've got 4 of these strips. We're going to get that one in down here. Do a bit of tidying up. I need to remember that I've got an old blade beside me, but I'm pointing it in the other direction, so I should be fine. Right, so let's start on the inside one. We're going to need a strip all the way up there. Where's my ruler? Here it is. And this strip needs to be, I would say, 11 centimeters. Maybe 12. Centimeters? God, that'd be huge. No. Millimeters. Oh, have I not got a pen to, like, mark it? I've got a giant permanent marker, but that's it. Ugh, it'd be nice if I could go down and mark it so I can cut it nicely. You directly apply them to the VRMs and VRAMs, not on the heatsink. I mean, I've seen it done both ways. So I have no idea, like, what I should do. Right. Let's see, does my pen work on this? No, my pen, of course, is not going to work on that surface. Not that sort of pen will. Yeah. We are doing a GPU repair. Begrudgingly. And I need a way to mark the thickness that I need to cut this pad to on the pad without making a mess or having a problem or winging it. Because I've only got 4 strips and I need 4 strips. Yeah, so the way that I'm going to do it is that I'm going to flip it like that. I'm going to put the board on top of the heatsink, line up the holes, because then I can screw, right? Because if I do it the other way, I then got to reflip it to put the screws in. Which some of these screws are actually different lengths. That is slightly surprising, but also not at the same time. Somebody will be able to confirm the exact thing that this is. Oh, you know, I've got my mouse cursor here. We are doing a 6800 XT. What did you say? Oh, you were close. You were close with your prediction. I don't have a marker that I can use to get this right, to get the width right on this. What can I mean, it'd be nice just to have a really fine tip marker pen, but such a thing doesn't exist in my studio. Or does it? No. Ooh, maybe in here. Right, hang on a second, folks. I'm just going to go in a crate. There we go. Let me have a look. So I've got a crate here full of stationary stuff. And by that, I don't mean things that are not moving. There we go. Right, so there are children's stickers. Of course, father of 2. But there is this box of things. Hey, I think if that works, I think we're in business. Right, let's see if that works on this. So, 12mm brings me to there. Yay! I can see a little mark. Okay, so I might just go down here and do a couple of marks. And then I don't think I'm going to try and connect them up. Thank goodness for finding this pen. That's made things a lot easier. So I want to cut this so I can... Oh my goodness, the top layer's moving. Which doesn't help with cutting it. Cut a piece of paper and stencil it? Yeah, I'm just going to mark it. And then hopefully these marks, if I go from Mark 1 to Mark 2... nice and straight. There we go. And then from Mark 2 to Mark 3, nice and straight. And then from Mark 3 to Mark 4. And then... that looks alright, that does. I mean, the other bit's fallen off. Oh, is that still clean? Because that looks perfect for that side. Oh, it is! Oh, it is! Okay, oh, right. Temporary change of plan. I'm going to try and get this on here. And this one doesn't need to go all the way down, so I am winging it a little bit in terms of length. Oh my goodness. And to say earlier that I was looking forward to this part. Tell you what, let's measure it. It's just under 60. You silly thing, you stuck to the board. Never mind. It's probably fine. Right, just under 60. Okay, I'm going to to grab this end and make a mess of it, but then leave the other end fine. So that's 60, so just under 60 would be there. There we go. Let's see if that bit fits nicely there. Oh, it does. I mean, I've got the thing upside down, but there we are. What are you using for the core? For the core, we've got some PTM 7950. It is probably not the most performant, but in theory should be very reliable. Okay, so then what I was actually doing was making this one. So we just want to be in the middle. Yeah, there we go. Let's try and get the backing off this one. I'm finding the backing just doesn't want to come off these. I don't know if it's me or what. But I'm glad that I left my nails long for today rather than cutting them. It's like, ooh, maybe I'll need good nails for when I do the GPU. Right, here we go. Let's get this on. Oh my goodness. Nearly, 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 nearly. There we go. Right, I accidentally took both bits off on that one to get it into position, but it's in position. Just a little bit worried that it's up against the side of the heatsink there. There we go. There we go. Is there a nice little gap there? Yeah, I think there is. Right. So I've got two on. We just need to do the last two. So I think we'll get a new strip out. We might even have one strip left at the end. But I'm glad I got 4 rather than the 2-pack. I think the 2-pack are like if you're doing the memory modules at that thickness. Oh my goodness, it's so warm. Oh no, wait, hang on a minute. That was the first strip. This one I don't think we're going to get 2 out of. Oh, there we go. Glanced at chat and it fell out of my hand. Although having said that, this one's quite thin as well on this side because it goes past this screw hole. Ooh. Is this one 12 as well? Okay. I could have got away with just 2. Never mind. Let's do it. Oh, I just hope these thicknesses are right. That's the worst thing about not knowing whether this is perfect or not. Right. You know, last time I did 4 notches on this. I'm going to mark 5 on it this time, just to make sure that I'm getting a nice straight line all the way down. See, whilst I am not an unintelligent person... Yeah, whilst I am not an unintelligent person, this is definitely not an area of my expertise, so I am very much taking my time and being careful as much as possible. Right. Oh my goodness. Oh, you've got an exam tomorrow. Oh, wow. I am glad I don't have any more exams to do. I've done all my exams now, and I'm happy that they are gone. Right, this one, I think this one's cutting easier due to experience. Like I'm getting better at it because I've done it more. Right, let's make sure that that one's nice and safe. There we go. So that one, yeah, that one will be thick enough for there. Wow, I've been quite lucky, I think. Let's put it on. Why not? Let's go for it. YOLO. Right. Just past the screw hole, all the way to the end, and then not past the end. That seems perfectly reasonable to me. That one's got plastic on it. That one's got nothing on it. These ones got the ones on the top. That one's... I've really messed up which one's got what. Okay, now for this one, we need that to go in there. Again, it doesn't have to go the entire length, so if I just do pretty much the entire length, it is bound to be probably maybe okay. Let's see if I can get the right side off this time. Oh, this stuff seems much more delicate. It's not a thermal pad, it's just... They should call it sheet of goop. Okay, that's not in the middle enough for my liking, so I'm going to see if I can reapply that. It was horizontally in a good position. Try and just coax it into place without squishing it. Oh, it's got a little kink. Normally kinks are fine, but here we don't want them. Not on the GPU, not today. Right. I think we're ready. Yes. So, we've got the memory pads on. We've got all 4 of the other strips on. I'm going to take the backings off them now. They all seem to be in the right place and the correct thickness for their location. This one's been a little bit silly. Well, we've got to be careful with our wiggles and kinks because you want them in appropriate places. Right. I am pretty sure that's all of them with the backing off, but I am just going to get a knife blade to double check this one. And to double check that one. Yep, they're off. These ones on the top here are a little bit big, but there's nothing on the board that they can interfere with, so I think we're okay. There we go. There we go, folks. I think we're ready to put the phase change pad on. Now, just before we do it, I'm going to... Have I got any... No, all my alcohol's evaporated. I'm going to give it one more wipe before we apply that. Always remember to take the plastic off. Exactly. Because I can actually see a speck of something that has managed to work its way on there since we've been working on the other things. So I will just clean it with that and then wipe it with this. There we go. Right. PTM. So this is apparently special stuff. This is a phase change pad, a thermal phase change pad. There is installation guide. Oh no, do I need to read the installation guide? Maybe I need to read the installation guide. I'm gonna have a quick look. I'm gonna use my phone. How are we all doing today, everybody? We all chilling out? What? I mean, obviously this is the sort of stream that you have with other things going on. So what's everybody's doing today? I'm trying to fix my computer. Oh. Apparently storing it in the fridge for a couple of hours before you need it might be a good idea. Cleaning the surface is a good idea. We've done lots of cleaning. Cut the pad into dimensions. It's non-conductive, so it doesn't have to be perfect. And then just apply it. And then take the peel off, I think. Yeah, take the peel off. Okay. Yes. Decorating? Oh my goodness. So, here we go. We need to cut this now. I'm going to probably try the scissors again. So, let's take... which way shall I cut it off? That way? Because then that'll leave a small square at the end. Or if I do it that way, it's going to leave a small square at the end that way. I don't know. So we want a generous 20mm that way, and generous 30mm that way. Okay. Okie dokie, let's do it. So, if I... oh, God. 30mm is a lot smaller than what I thought. I'm gonna be definitely generous with that. We do probably a couple of millimeters, or yeah, a millimeter each side. Okay, so that's the 30, and then we want 20 this way. Try not to squish it or anything. Wow, that's a lot more than what I was expecting. A lot smaller. Right, I'll be back in a second. I need to refresh again. Would be nice if I wasn't doing this on such a warm day, everybody. Never mind. Don't really have a choice if I need to get the job done. Get the job done, eh? So first I'm going to cut down... I'm going to leave a little bit of extra than 20. I'm going to go a couple of millimeters this way. Oh, that feels weird. And then I'm going to go this way, pretty much just over the mark. And potentially, that's it. So now we have to take the backing off and put it onto the die. And it's almost certainly going to require tweezers. Room temp check. Still 30 degrees in here, but I've got windows open both into the house and 2 fans running. Big ones. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's slightly bigger, does it? It's always, I suppose it's always a nice surprise when it's slightly bigger. Right, let's see. Oh! Okay, so this side of the backing seems to want to come off very easy. So that's the one I'm going to do first. Oh, wow. This stuff will literally be liquid when it warms up. I've just realised I've got ink on it. Hopefully that's not going to cause a problem. Oh no. I've introduced some impurities. Oh, steady, steady. Oh, that's on there. Oh, that doesn't want to come off. Well, it's well on. It's slightly wonky. I wasn't really ready for it, but it's on. It's like suctioned on almost. That's crazy. Let's see what's chat saying. You're doing okay. You got to remember, right? I am not a computer repair person, right? The last job I had was software engineer. This is hardware, different thing. Right, well, it is completely covering the die. All the pads are on. I don't think we should delay any longer. Let's get it put on. Let's get it flipped over and on. The only thing is, I've just noticed that there's something that's dropped onto that pad from somewhere. Yeah, got it off. Right. Hopefully, when I turn these vertical, it won't be a I need to turn these vertical to be able to get the fan header things back in, and then do them all the way. No, wait, I'm gonna do it all the way, and then I'll. Oh no, I don't want to open it slightly because then that might pull it off from where it is. We're gonna have to put it up vertical and just hope that none of the pads move. And then once I've got it plugged in, sandwich. Ah, right, okay. Here we go. All of these do seem to be quite wanting to stick to the various locations. So let's see what happens here. I'm going to turn it round this way. That way I can look down the length of the GPU. Don't forget to take... All the film have been taken off. Oh, wait. Oh, hang on a minute. You're right. You're right. So, I've taken off the film off all the pads. I haven't taken the film off the 7950. That's why you're here, folks. I said this earlier on. I'm here to try and do it. Definitely should have put this in the fridge. Oh. This is not good. I'm tempted to put it in the freezer. I don't know if I'd have remembered or not. Yeah, this is not good. It's not wanted to come off. No, I didn't freeze it. I was going to, but in this weather, I've thought more about freezing my own butt. This may now be impossible. I'm doing this corner because it's the furthest point away from the die. So if I cause any problems, it's probably going to be okay. This is going to... Oh, wait, wait, wait. I think I've got it. Oh, this is not good. Right. Here we go. Oh no. It's tearing. It's tearing really badly down one side. I think that was the side that it was on, like it was at the edge of whatever it was. Oh, this isn't going to be good enough, I don't think. Might have to do it again. It's a shame really, because the rest seems to be coming quite nicely. But this side seems to have just completely... Oh no, wait. Yeah, this side's got a problem. It's really bad. And I'm really hungry. Yeah, the rest of it's fine. Surgeon Simulator. I've done that in VR. I'm not sure about this now on this application. Okay. Yeah, it did. Down one end, it did not want to come off at all. Like it stayed completely stuck to the edge of the plastic. It just didn't want to come out. That looks like it'll pump out. That's what I'm thinking. Because we've got plenty on there, and it's only the very edge of the die, and it's a little wrinkled. Yeah, I bet it's probably going to be fine. It's non-conductive, yeah, so it doesn't matter if it goes all over the place. Yeah. Chat seems to think it's okay. Do you want a closer look? Let's see if we can get a closer look. You can just see a tiny spot of the die showing there and there. It will turn to liquid, yes. I've got a funny feeling we're probably going to be alright with that one. Oh, Cam 2 just took a dive. It's my fault. Alright. I'm not sure, but I think we're ready for reassembly. So let's give it a go. So we're going to go vertical now and try again. There we go. You've put so much extra on, there'll be no way that doesn't hit the whole GPU die. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So here we go. As long as no pads drop off while I'm trying to connect the fan header back together, I'm keeping the two separate. There we go. All pads are still in place. There we go. Fan header cable is back in place. Oh dear. Right, hang on a second, folks. Some medication. I need some, what do you call it? Menthol. I need some menthol. There we go. Right. So now it's a matter of putting these two things together and making sure they line up perfectly. First time. And I'm paying close attention to certain screw holes. Yeah. Sweating? If I am sweating, it's because the heat in here, 30 degrees in the humid UK heat, is not nice. Where are we looking on there? I'm getting close. Something. I think that's it. I think we're on. No, we're not. We're slightly misaligned. Slightly misaligned. Whoa. Is it worth trying to pop one of these screws in to get an alignment? I feel like it might be. Just to help guide it. Yeah, there we go. So if I've got one screw in there, and if I try and get this one in down here, these are going to potentially just guide us in place. I can't see. That one's going. No, that one's not going. No, hang on a minute. I don't want to do that one. I've changed my mind. I want to do a different screw hole. There we go. And we're over. Yeah, we are slightly skewed. I can see from the screw holes. There we go. That's much better. I can feel it kind of sitting on those pads. Let's go for that one. Was it like that when you first service yours? I mean, to be honest, I'm not massively stressed. I think it's because I've mostly been taking my time. I haven't rushed it. Yeah, this is actually falling together quite nicely. These two screws went in, no problem. I'm not going to tighten them all the way up. I'm just going to do them enough so that they are biting. And then the plastic casing just needs to make sure it goes around there. Okay. I think I'm ready to start putting some of these in. But, like I said, I'm not going to do them up much. I think I should really do these ones first. Something's telling me to do the ones around the die first. Intuition. Should we use the word intuition? Or should we say blind ignorance? Apparently I can't say it. Is that in? No, that one's not in. Now it's in. Last thing we want this to do is just spring out and go flying somewhere. Disappear in the Hellish cave forever. There's a little bit of give on these, so it's not easy to tell if they're definitely in or not, but it is. Now I don't know if this has to be tightened to a certain torque, but what I'll do is I'll just tighten it up until it feels tight. I don't want to over tighten it. Okay, let's get the other screws in. And then what I'll do is I'll cut the live stream without telling you whether it worked or not. Yeah, don't over tighten. They weren't that tight when they came out. I was surprised because sometimes you try and disassemble a piece of electronics and the screws are so locked in tight. Apparently there's a BIOS switch on this. I did not know that. Tighten them in a cross pattern. Yeah, you should have seen me do that. Okay. There we go. Hopefully now it's all coming together in the right place and I haven't messed anything up. That one seems quite tight. Something's telling me, my intuition may be, that we're there. Just going to check the smaller screws. Be nice if I had some sort of like torque rated screwdriver, but I don't. This is the best screwdriver I've got for this job. Ah, right. So, in theory, we just need to put those initial fan screws that I accidentally took out for no reason back to where they were. So if you were here at the beginning, for some reason I thought this plastic bit had to come off first and then I worked on the back plate. But no, that was not the case. Now I need to make sure that all of these screws that are already in here are in nice and tight. I do actually have some replacement fans available for these. And I don't know whether I need to do it or not. Oh, there's a screw in there as well. Okay, I must have put 2 in that one. Maybe. Is there 4 screws? Oh, hang on. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I've got it the other way around. It's this side. Okay, can I drop this one in? No problem. Yeah, so this is upside down from when I was doing the fans before. This screwdriver isn't exactly the right screwdriver for the job, but unfortunately I think it's the closest thing I've got at the moment. Until I get a new precision kit, this is it. Right, where are we looking? I might need to shove my head in front of the camera to see this one. Let's rotate the card slightly. There we go. Sometimes you have to just try and find the hole without being able to see it. Right. Well, at least we've got no screws left over. Oop, nearly dropped that one into the heatsink. I was reading chat and I wasn't paying attention to my hand movements, my pressure and the pressure that I was doing. Okay, last one. We'll check a couple of these and we'll throw it back in the machine. Not literally, because that would be a bit of a disaster potentially. Here we go. Make sure I don't want to over tighten them. Okay. Quick check on some of these. I'm pretty sure I did them about right. Yeah. Okay, that screwdriver was not right, but it was good enough. What did they say? There's good and then there's good enough. And we're one of those. Right. Lid on the isopropyl. Screw tray is empty. Sheet with screws that were in is empty. Graphics card back in one piece with all the old goop and strips and things all down there. Should we go put it in the computer? I think we should. Right, how much of this cam can we do? We don't need cam 2 on here now. The computer is down there. Because of lighting, I don't think you'll see it very well. But we should be able to at least get cam 1 somewhat in the right direction for the computer. That's going to be close. Maybe we can move cam 1 a little bit over here. Hang on a second. Come on, cam 1. Oh, there we go. There we go. And then, can we angle it downwards towards the computer down there? There we go. So now all I need is some light, which I can do from my phone. And we'll put it in. So there's a torch. You guys can see that, right? To a point. Should we do a zoom? Beep, beep. There we go. Are we ready for the graphics card run? We're ready for explosions. Now remember that PTM 7950 can take a little bit of time to get to temperature. The board does seem slightly, ever so slightly, oh no, that does look linear actually. Right, here we go. I don't want to do this now. I don't want to do it at all. You're not getting any wind from the fan behind me, are you? Right. Now, unfortunately for me, I've got these tubes in the way, which makes it rather difficult to slide it in. But I'm going to do my best. And because it goes all the way from the front to the back, it's a bit of a beastie card on that respect. Come on, you silly thing. Where have we got? We got the tubes in round there. Okay, we need a slight rearrangement of the angle. There we go. We're going in. I need to move the light so I can see what I'm doing. So yeah, these tubes that I'm trying to guide it round now. These are the cooling for the CPU. And I might have to redo some things around here in a second, because the power cables don't seem to be in the right position. There seems to be some resistance somewhere. I don't know if I've like wedged a cable in or something. I think I have. Yeah, there's a cable that was stuck. There's another cable. I don't think that one's stuck. Yeah, okay. So the power cables, I'm just kind of holding it in place, floating at the moment. The power cables for the GPU have dropped down, and I might need to remove the GPU slightly to get them back into position. Ooh. Yeah, GPU needs to come. The problem is the GPU can't come out very far now. Oh, there we go. Right, I think we're okay. Right, it's going in the slot. There we go. Click. Let's get a screw or two in there. I can't see because I'm in my own shadow. I don't know what I'm doing because I can't see what I'm doing. Where is it going? Oh my goodness. Come on, just one would do so I can then get the screwdriver. I don't think that's even in the GPU. That's in an empty blank slot. Okay, let's try this one again. Let's try this one in the top one. Oh! Never has my back been so interesting, eh? No, I need my screwdriver. Can I reach it? I can't see chat. Alright, screw on the driver. Driver, put the screw in. I'm just supporting the card at the moment because it's only in via the slot. Oh no, I've got the wrong screw head on the driver. Oh, can I raise that up without it falling off? No, maybe? Ooh, ooh. Yes! Okay. I got it. I got it. We're in. Oh. Again, I'm not going to over tighten that. Now the power is out of the computer. The power isn't on the computer, so I need to plug the mains power cable back in. That one normally trips me up. Plugging the mains power cable back in, taking it out when I'm doing maintenance, and then doing what I do, and then like, why is the computer not powering up? That's one of my favourite tricks. Forgetting the mains power cable. Come on, you silly thing. We've got to get this last screw in. This is the last screw, and then we can put the power cables on. And then we'll see if everything explodes. I mean, if it boots, and I can see the screen, that'll be a good start. Right, where are all my power cables gone? There's one, there's the other. Okay, so I'll put this one in first. Nice and carefully. Again, I'm in my own shadow. I can't really see very well. Oh, that's gone in okay. And then this one. Two separate cables with two separate powers. Two 8-pins on this card. And that one, nearly. Oh my goodness, not quite. There. Oh, that was flexing slightly on the motherboard. Should we press the button, folks? What do you think? People, so many people watching my back. I might be able to get Cam 2 in a position where we can see the screen. I've just realised. Where's my mouse? Let's reintroduce Cam 2, because we're not going to need the bench anymore. And I'll move the arm. And if I move the arm, there's my upside down computer. I just realised that I turned everything upside down. God, that's weird, with everything being inverted. I don't think this camera's going to stay in position. It might just droop. Okay, let's rotate you the right way round. There we go. So now you can see you've got a slightly better zoomed in shot of there, but I didn't think this bit through. I'm kind of delirious. What? Why is that cable? No, that's fine. That's a temperature probe. Right. Here we go. Oh wait, no. I forgot something else. I forgot to plug the displays into the back. Oh dear. Hey Google, turn on bottom edge. Hey Google, set bottom edge to white. There we go, I can see what I'm doing now. Yeah, if I don't plug the monitors into the GPU, that's going to be potentially not very helpful. There we go. They're in. Oh, the power! The power! I said it, didn't I, earlier on? I nearly forgot the power. There we are. We got lights. No smoke, no explosions yet. Here we go. Right, hang on a second. That Cam 2's doing nothing really there in that tiny corner, is it? So what we'll do is I'll just readjust Cam 1 a bit. We'll put Cam... Whoa, that's too far. We'll put Cam 1 back here. And you'll be able to see on the side this monitor. Right. Because then I'm here. There's the main monitor's there, but that's not important. If this one lights up, we can see what we're doing. Here we go, folks. 5, 4... Oh, I pressed the button. Well, the card lit up. The RGB on the card's lit up. Main screen starting to activate. I can see the introduction. Although this is probably to be expected. What we want now is for the GPU not to just completely overheat and explode once we get into the operating system. So far, so good. It's taking a moment. The side of the case is off though. I don't like running with the side of the case off. Maybe I should put it... I'm going to put the side of the case on. Here we go. Right, what we got? Login? No? Black screen? All 3 screens are now active. Just going to log in with my fingerprint. We have a ship. We have an EVE Online ship. So that's... it's not dead. That's thing number 1. Graphics card has not been killed by Master Hellish today. It appears. But have I damaged it to the point where it doesn't work? No smoke. Can't see any smoke. You know what I should have done? I should have set the smoke machine up as a prank. Oh, I so could have done that. I could have set the smoke machine up and just rammed the smoke through the smoke machine at the moment I turn the computer on, and everyone would be like, ah, his house on fire. Right. I'm just going to clear some of the things that pop up when I start my system. And shall we do a firmark? Yes. Obviously you won't get a close-up on the stats, but I'll tell you what's going on and we'll see what happens. So, recently run apps. We're going to get hardware info up. We're going to start that right now. And then we're going to get firmark ready. We don't want any of these right now. God, that took ages to boot. I wonder what's going on there. Right. Here we go. So there's hardware info, which includes stats here for the GPU. So here we go. Where's the temps? There's the temps. GPU temperature, 43 degrees. Memory junction, 48. The VRV DDC, 43. Hotspot, 47. They're all in the low to mid 40s at the moment. So, shall we run a firmark test and see what happens? Hang on, I can't quite read chat. Cold spot temps. Current room temperature. That's a good point. The current room temperature is 30 degrees, which is 2 degrees higher than when I did my benchmarking earlier in the day. Explain what firmark is. Firmark is an application which you can run on your machine, and it stresses your graphics card, and you can do benchmarks and things like that. And basically, it's going to push my graphics card up to nearly 100% constantly. So if there's something wrong, it will break it. It's stressful, yes. Power virus, yes. It's a proper virus. Okay, so I'm just going to run the test at full 1440p on the main screen. You might be able to see a little bit of it on cam 2. There, you can actually see it running on cam 2, but it's tiny. Let's check temps. Okay, all the temps are going up. The fans are ramping up. GPU temperature is now at 69. Hotspot 94. 93, 94, 95. 96. $97. Fans are still ramping up. Fans are now at 62%. Now I did record the previous run, so I can look back at the previous results. 98 on the hotspot now. Bearing in mind, when I ran this test previously, it did manage to go past 114 degrees. We're up to 99 on the hotspot. The fan speed is at 69%. There's 100 degrees on the hotspot just. Overall temperature is 75. Oh, hotspot went up to 101. Back down to 100. Fan speeds are sitting at 72% right now. 100, 101 still on that hotspot. If it sits at 100, I'm happy. 101. Are we going to see 102? GPU temperature is now up to 77 degrees. There's 102 briefly on the hotspot. GPU usage is bouncing between 95 and 99%. Fan speeds are still running at 75%. They haven't ramped up too much. There is just 102 on the hotspot. Again, back down to 101. 103 for a split second on the hotspot. But we are hitting the core constantly pretty hard in a room that's 2 degrees warmer. We might be able to get that hotspot to climb if we keep running this benchmark. I don't remember what the fan speed was before. I could probably go and have a look. I mean, obviously there's a certain point which it will probably cap. It went down to 102 for a second, then bounced up to 104, 103, 104, 103, 104. Fans have gone up to 79%. They're working hard on this hot, humid day. GPU temperatures are up to 79 degrees now. I would say, how long has this been running? We've gone past the 3-minute mark and we only just hit 105 degrees on the hotspot briefly. And it's gone down to 102, 105, 104. Let's see what hardware info has to say about the maximum temperatures. So the maximum hotspot has been 105 throughout the entire test. We're up to 3.5 minutes now. There's 105 again. Back down to 103. I don't know how long to let this go on for. Let's check in with chat. Well, yeah, I will probably cook in the room before the you know what, I might be able to turn this around slightly so you can see. Oh, look, there you go. You can see a little bit of it. There you go. Guess the fan speed is running off an average temperature. The hotspot will get away until the average temperature is hot enough. Probably. Yeah, I guess so. Would be interesting to see what the hotspot sits with the fans are running on full for 15 minutes or something. Maybe the fan profile should be more aggressive. Problem is, Jackamak, if I change the fan profile, the software forgets the profile after a couple of reboots and it goes back to where it was. This is the most glorious technical setup ever. What, the fact that we're streaming from a laptop and fixing a computer? Is that what you mean? I mean, there is quite a lot of technical stuff here, but... Oh, the graphs! The graphs at the bottom. Oh, we did just hit 106. On the hotspot. It is now at 106, but it's gone back down to 105. Fans have gone up to 83%. The overall GPU temperature is now up to 81 degrees. But that's after 5 minutes. We've been running for 5 minutes. I'm going to end the test. 150 frames per second. So there's the test gone. This is still monitoring. Now, I want to know what it was before. Let me go and find the recording of what happened. So where... No, that's not... That's a different test. Here we go. So I can't remember how long I ran the test for last time. So what you're seeing on the screen now is a recording of me running the test previously. Right. So last time I ran the test, it easily got up to 110 and the fans were going at 100%. and the GPU was cooler at 72 degrees. Right. I don't want to make any promises, and I don't want to get too excited, but the initial tests are looking pretty good. So when I ran this test before, the room was 2 degrees cooler. The GPU itself, after 5 minutes, got up to around 72 degrees in the cooler room, right? But the fans were working harder because the hotspot was higher. So the hotspot is 110 at the 5 minute mark with the fans at 99%. Right? Which to me is an indication that at 106 degrees of hotspot, the fans ramping up to only 80% shows that there was more headroom on the fans, more cooling available, and potentially I fixed it. So you should test what the temps are at 100%, like the old test was at. What you mean, like force the fans to be 100% and see what the temperatures are like? I can do that. I think I can do that. Let's do that as a test. Bear with me a second. Let me see. Performance, tuning. We're in pretty much default mode now, but if I go into custom, fan tuning, do advanced fan control, and just set it to go like max power, I'm just going to listen for the fans. Yeah, fans are going nuts now. So then if we get the Firmark test back up, run it again with those fans forced at 100, reset these statistics. Right. Oh. Apparently the fans are at 123%. I don't know how I managed that. Let's see if I can get the fans to 100%. Or at least close to it. No, that's a little high. Hang on a second. 99%, 98%. Right, I've managed to get the fans to 98%. So let's leave Firmark running now. We'll leave it for a couple of minutes, let it settle, and see what the hotspot gets to. Overclock the fans. Yeah, it does seem. Yeah, start the fan. Start the fans, please. Oh, that was a fantastic TV show. Loved it. Third-party software. It can happen. No, it's not third-party software. The software that I'm using to adjust the fans is the AMD software thing. Yeah. Now, the important thing here is none of the temperatures have just skyrocketed. That would show that I definitely did a bad. And in the information panel here, there is a thermal limit percent temperature on GPUs, right? And the maximum that we've seen is 87% of thermal maximum, right? So if any of those temperatures were going up above the 100% thermal limit, I know I've broken something. Gigabyte says Radeon is pretty bad. Yeah, it's not great. I wish it was better. Most of the stuff works okay. The problem that I have with it is that it doesn't always remember its settings. And it might be that I've got some settings which are causing these errors and trips, and that then makes it reset to default settings, even though I'm trying to work around it, right? Right. Let's see how we're getting on. We are 2.5 minutes into the test, and the fans are running at 98%. Hotspot is currently 98, and the GPU temperature is 78. right? So considering that the room is 2 degrees warmer than it was when I ran the test previously, well, what was it before? It was maxing out at like 110 or something, wasn't it? I can't remember now. I need to go and check the video. Where's the video? There's the video. So if I go into the test, there's the video running. So at about 4 minutes, yeah, it was at 110 degrees after about 4 minutes with the fans maxed out at 100%. However, with the fans maxed out now, it's sitting at 100 degrees with the room 2 degrees warmer. That's the worst thing about AMD. You get one tiny error or crash and you lose all your settings. Well, the thing is, for the average Joe Blogs user, that's probably a good idea, because if they've done something bad in the settings for that error to happen, then it's probably safer to revert those settings, right? Okay, so I'm going to let this run for another minute, and we'll see how it goes. How are you liking the different view of the Hellish desk? Yeah. I can't show you any more of the monitor because there's actually a physical beam in the way. This is, you don't normally see this. This is where I've got some controls. I can switch on some lights. You can see the reflection of the lights up there in that poster. They're on this side of the room with you guys. And I can switch, the lights up here are broken, so that switch does nothing. But this switch here controls the 4 fans that are on my desk under my monitor. Enjoying it. Right then, where are we at? 4.5 minutes. See, I don't know exactly how much the room temperature affects the ability of the graphics card to cool itself. Alright, there we go. We just hit the 5-minute mark on this test. So with the 5-minute mark on this test, the hotspot temperature seems to be bouncing around the 100... Oh, actually, no, we can use this to tell us. This is why I managed, why I got this piece of software. So, hotspot temperatures. Hotspot, no, that's the thermal limit, not the temperature. Hotspot temperature is currently maxed out at 103. I think it just teetered onto 104 for a split second then, right? So, we have decreased the hotspot temperature by 10 degrees. No, wait, by 7 degrees in a room that is 2 degrees warmer. I think that's pretty good. It appears I haven't broken stuff. Now, the ultimate test will be playing PUBG, because for some reason, that's the app that makes it crash the most. But you've got to remember, this is running a stress test, right? This is pushing the GPU to 97%, 99% constantly for the last 6 minutes. And it's not getting... Oh, I fixed it, haven't I? Oh, I wouldn't let myself believe it until just now, but I've done it. The hotspot's high. The hotspot is high in a hot room, but it is lower than it was, and it's not going above the safe threshold like it was before. I've seen temperatures on this GPU of a hotspot of 114 degrees. We are 10 degrees beneath that now, and this stress test has been going on for 7 minutes at full whack. Hey! Fantastic. Quick round of PUBG after lunch. You know what, Jackamak? Sure, why not? Let's do it. Let's tell you what. Let's have 2 rounds of PUBG after lunch. Oh my goodness! I've got a bit of tidying up to do. I've got like cotton buds lying around all over the place and bits of thermal pad falling apart, and a few tools, but it's not too bad. Obviously, I need to get some work done this afternoon, but I'm gonna make myself some sort of lunch. Yesterday I had ham on crackers with sweet pickle, but I've ran out of crackers, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. A stress test usually runs 15 degrees higher than regular gaming. Potentially. I mean, it's just going absolutely berserk. There is a different test I can do, so let's stop the thermite test. There's a stress test we can do using hardware info. So if I start the GPU stress... Now, what was the benchmark for this last time? Let's have a look. Where's the video file of that test? So when I ran that test last time, about 2 minutes in, we got hotspot temperatures of 111. Right? Yeah. So this test went up to 111 last time. Right? So let's reset the statistics, run it again. And we are looking for hotspot temperature here. It's going to get high. It's 94 at the moment. It's probably still warm from the last thing I did. The test will be PUBG. Yes. You've been running Furmark as well. Hotspot of 81. Oh, I need to reset my fans back to default. Default. I don't know if they've gone back. I'm going to have to just run the Furmark test for a second just to see what speed they're at. Oh, they're at 86%, so that makes sense. Right, so what we're looking at now in terms of temperatures for this one. Hotspot of 103. So, what did I say? It was 111? 103, 111, 7. That's an 8 degrees improvement in a 2 degrees warmer room. The fans might need replacing in this GPU, to be honest. I'm not happy about that. Oh, no, no! The fan cables can only be unplugged when the GPU's in 2 pieces. If I want to replace the fans, now would have been the time. Never mind. I'll live with it. It'll be fine. I'll fix it. It's great. Everything's okay. Everything is awesome. Actually, let's have a quick look at what I've got left. So I've got 2 of one of the pads. And 2 of the other... 2.5 of the other pads. So I actually do have enough thermal stuff to do it again. In theory. In theory. Right, what's going on over here? Your calculations about temperature decrease are absolutely wrong, apparently. Previously, you hit a safe threshold and your GPU throttled. So if it didn't, think of that as 120 plus degrees. I mean, what I'm telling you is the maximum amount of temperature at which we saw. But yeah, I mean, it might have been throttling. The only way it would be no... Yeah, the FPS went down in Furmark? Yeah, that's a good thing we can check. So we were pulling 164 frames per second in that last Furmark test. In this test right now, we did get a hotspot up to 109. This one's in a very aggressive test, but we'll make sure that we turn that test off now. We can go back to the video and see what that was doing to see if it was being throttled. So let's see. Oh wow. So about 5 minutes in, the frames on this is 118, 120 frames per second. We've gained about 40 frames per second on the test as well. In a 2 degrees hotter room, I've gained 40 frames per second, in addition to dropping the temperature. Yeah. what you got to remember is that my GPU has been failing to throttle enough when it's reaching this safe threshold, and the computer's been shutting down. That's been the cause of the problem. It's happened in live streams and some other things. That was throttling bad. Yeah, so before the fans were going at 100%, we were getting 110 degrees on that hotspot, and the frames per second here are 118, 120 frames per second. Yeah. Well, any more questions about the process, what I did before, what I did after, what I might do next? Am I going to cry about maybe not replacing the fans? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I feel... The thing is that yes, I've had some measure of elation, but like this could break tomorrow because of what I've done. So I've got a measured amount, a cautionary measured amount of optimism. Yeah. So we're going to go and play some PUBG on the Discord in a little while. I need to get this stream all shut down. I need to grab a bit of food. Don't know what I'm going to have. I've got the rest of the ham to eat, but I've got no crackers to put them on. What should I do? Should I make a toasty? I'm trying to... No. You think your fans are fine while I replace them? Oh, because I think some of the bearings are going on the fans. They're a bit noisy. They're much more noisy than what I thought they should be. Although they've quietened right down now. So it might just be that they were working hard. I'm pretty sure at some point my fans were making an unacceptable noise, but they seem to be okay. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Right then. Well, I guess we're gonna have lunch. Ham salad. We do actually have some lettuce and cucumber in, which we don't very often have. We tend to buy salad making materials for particular meals. We don't get a lot of stuff in the house that isn't for particular meals. We're definitely much a meal buying family. We'll plan the meals for the week. We'll plan what things we need to buy for those meals, and that's what we'll buy to put in the house. There won't be a massive amount. Yeah. Replacing them is actually quite simple, so in that case it shouldn't be much trouble. I mean, unscrewing the fans, taking them out and putting them in shouldn't be too much of a problem. The problem that I think I would have is that the actual connection for the fans is between the heatsink and the PCB in such a fashion that I would have to take the graphics card apart again to be able to unplug them. I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I might actually be able to have a ham salad. Yeah, I'm not normally able to do that because, you know, it requires us having leftover salad stuff from a planned meal. Right then, folks. I'm not going to hang around here much longer. What I will do is thank you all for hanging around with me, nearly 3 hours, some of you. It's been interesting for me to go through this process, and fingers crossed we won't have any live streams cutting out due to a graphics card. You've got to remember, folks, I'm still not 100% sure that the reason why my computer was shutting down was because of this graphics card. But considering reapplying the thermals on the graphics card has had a relatively large change in both performance and temperatures, I think we're looking pretty cool. Now remember, folks, this is the second channel. You can, of course, subscribe here for all the behind the scenes stuff. I'm going to a LAN party later in the year. We'll stream from that as well, and we'll probably put some other things from other places in as well. But the main gaming channel is where this computer is going to be used, and we're going to be doing some open TTD tomorrow night. So come along for that live stream, and take care. Will you be streaming PUBG? Yeah, I'll stream it on Discord. We won't stream it anywhere else, just Discord. Yeah. So if you want to, if you're new around here and want to check out the Discord stream, discord.masterhellish.net. Come onto the Discord and have a look. But I'm going to grab some food. I'm going to grab Jackamak and anybody else who wants to play. We'll do a couple of rounds, and let's assume that it's going to be fine. But if it's not, I'll probably post crying about it somewhere. Okay, folks, take care. Thanks for watching. No special outro or anything.